I'll open this tonight with a land acknowledgement. The Medicine Hat Police Service and its Police Commission honor and acknowledge that we are situated on Treaty 7 and Treaty 4 territory, the traditional lands of the Siksika, Kainai, Piikani, Stoney Nakoda, and Tsuut'ina, as well as the Cree, Sioux, and Saulteaux bands of the Ojibwe peoples. We also acknowledge that we are situated on the traditional homelands of the Métis Nation. I would now ask that any commissioners present advise the chair if they have any perceived or known conflicts of interest as it relates to tonight's agenda. Seeing none, we will move on to approval of the agenda. A motion to do so?
So moved.
Vice Chair Keane? Commissioner Rolbas, thank you. Anybody opposed? Abstained? That motion is carried. Last month's meeting minutes were distributed as part of your pre-meeting package. Are there any omissions or revisions? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve as presented. Commissioner Shukenora, thank you. Councillor Hirsch, thank you. Anybody abstained? Opposed? That motion is carried. We'll move on to presentations. Chief Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to introduce Sergeant Jeff Click and Constable Kevin Weisgerber. So Jeff and Kevin were in charge of our recruit class last year, and they're in charge of our current recruit class. So this is their second consecutive class. I do have to give them a bunch of credit here in front of the commission and publicly. This year, as you know, we took on a partnership with the Medicine Hat College. So that was a big deal. So it might seem easy now that we're doing it, but a new curriculum had to be written and then provided in conjunction with the college and provided to the Public Safety and Emergency Services Ministry for review, and before we could actually use it in the province. And a lot of work went into that. And then to run a program in its first year, you're obviously going to have some hiccups as you work through a brand new program, but it's been very well received. It's an excellent program. And so I just thank the guys here for getting that off the ground for us. And it's a great program. I think it's something our service and our city should be proud of, that we have a partnership here in town with police service and the college, and we're keeping that in town. So I'll let the guys take it away. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you, sir. I'll just introduce myself. Like Chief Murphy said, my name is Jeff Click. I'm a Sergeant in the Police Service, going on 24 years of service, and have seen pretty much every unit within the police service, from the drug unit to major crimes, as a polygraph examiner for many years. So it's kind of my background, and in the last 3 years have been involved with the recruit training, which was a different step for me, because never really thought getting into policing I'd become an educator, but it's been really, really rewarding. So, and Constable Weisgerber.
Constable Weisgerber, I've been here now 16 years. Like Sergeant Click, we wear a bunch of different hats in this. I've been in drugs and major crimes, training, negotiator. I think I presented before to you guys. I don't know if you remember, on the negotiator unit. And a CT instructor. So yeah, this is kind of a little bit new to me. I've gone through several recruit classes as a CT instructor, and it's been really cool to do the other side of it, to take them from start to finish all the way through. So yeah, it's been pretty rewarding for me as well.
So we're just going to talk a little bit about the history of our recruit training, and I'm only going to go back 25 years because that's about all I know, and that's when I started. So back when I went to recruit training, we went to the Saskatchewan Police College. So we were sent there for, I believe it was 16 weeks back then, and learned, you know, the Saskatchewan police standards and a lot of that. So when we come back to Medicine Hat, we had to be kind of retrained in some of our provincial statutes and different things like that. And at the same time, we also utilized the Edmonton Police Service for a few of our recruit classes as well. So basically, we were looking for others out there to get our members trained. We didn't have anything in-house that we did at that time. Moving from that, in about 2005, we formed a relationship with the Lethbridge Police Service and the Lethbridge College, and we formed what was called CACJ. So it's a Center for Community Justice. So Medicine Hat Police Service would have input into that with instructors and what curriculum we thought we should have as our police service, and Lethbridge would have their information. We combined and trained several classes of combined Lethbridge Medicine Hat people up to about 2010. Excuse me, and then in 2010, it became more formalized with the Lethbridge College, where they actually created a certificate program there, and they ran that from about 2010 to 2023. So in that certificate program, once you completed your recruit training through the Lethbridge College, you got a certificate that could be used towards a diploma. So a few credits that you would get through that college to move that way. And then, as Chief Murphy said, in last year, 2024, we made the, to me, very logical change to go to the Medicine Hat College, keep our recruit training localized, and to form a really good partnership with them. And that's where we are today, and we're just finishing our first class with graduation next Friday with our new curriculum. So, like we said, the current training that we have right now, we worked with the corporate education section of the Medicine Hat College. So they developed and helped with all the information we had to put it together, make it logical, make it, I guess, academic with different modules, tests that we had to create, assessments, grading rubrics, and all of that type of information that we had to put together. So they helped us create that in a very short period of time. When we did leave the Lethbridge College, a lot of information we had to redevelop on our end, because obviously it was their program. A lot of that, and the biggest part of that, was a law program that we had to recreate. So we didn't have a criminal law module that we needed to do. So through Chief Murphy and some contacts that we had with the Edmonton Police Service, they were very gracious in giving us a module, a criminal law module that we then created our own, made it our own, and was a big portion of this this curriculum build. The other thing that we did with our new program is kind of reconnected with the criminal justice program at our college here. So our relationship with that college, they taught students in that program, come out of there with a certificate or a degree, or not, sorry, a diploma. And then those students would look to police services throughout Alberta, Canada, to go and apply to and try to get hired with. So the relationship we had with that program, when I say wasn't very strong, it wasn't very strong back then. We've now, with this program developing, we've been able to really connect with them again. And part of that was in this last recruit class, we got them to build a training module for us that we were lacking in our curriculum, and that was an Indigenous training module. So we got them to create that module for us. We also got to utilize the college, their round room that they have there, and actually do the training right with them. So a couple of the college instructors designed a curriculum, presented it to us in coordination with local elders. So it was a really great way to kind of start to rebuild that relationship. The other kind of exciting thing with our recruit training program, and I'll get into kind of the nuts and bolts with it, but we've reached out to, we have several scenarios within our training program where we try to make them what's called authentic scenarios. So it might be a scenario, for instance, a domestic violence scenario where we have a couple that's not getting along and we need actors or people to play those roles as authentic as they can. So we reached out to the Medicine Hat Community Theatre and got several volunteers within the community to come and be our actors, and really connected with them. And at first we did some training with them, an 8-hour day kind of training, showing them scenarios and stuff, and they were quite, what's the word I want to use, like intimidated at coming to do this, because they're like, well, we don't want to ruin a recruit, career by doing something wrong in this scenario and stuff. So they worked with us, and it was fantastic. And the word's out there now, and we got several more people from the acting community that wants to be part of this with us. So it was really kind of a unintended, really good community connection with that. And like Chief Murphy said, with this current training, we had a very, very short period of time to get it approved through the Minister of Public Safety. So myself and Constable Weisgerber with the college worked really hard in almost under 3 months to get the curriculum developed, get it ready, get it to them for their approval. And in that approval, we also were able to reach out to Saskatchewan Police College. They're often full. We reached out to them, kind of presented our curriculum in that direction as well, and they're quite excited about maybe sending members to Medicine Hat when we have openings for that to do that. So really built a good relationship with them. So, want to go?
Sure. So our current training program, what we do now is a 24-week program. Like Sergeant Click was saying, we do 13 authentic graded scenarios. So the way these scenarios work is we teach them, call it the nuts and bolts of what they need to do, and then they do an authentic scenario with it, with these actors. So we try to make it as realistic as possible. And then we have subject matter experts kind of thing that stand there and they get graded on all of their scenarios. It's very intimidating for them, but it's important to go through that because what they do out on the street, they're under watchful eye all the time, and it's been awesome. We already chit-chatted about the criminal law curriculum. I don't know if you want to say more about that.
Yeah, no, the criminal law curriculum that we developed compared to what we had before, far more comprehensive. Some of the exams, one of the exams in particular is a 4-hour handwritten exam that they have to do. So their knowledge of the criminal code when they leave this recruit training now compared to what it was in the past is substantially better. And we have a college instructor who is Mike Fisher, who was a ex-member with us, teaches that, so we have that personal experience of a police officer to be able to present that in a way that the recruits can understand. The other thing when we talk about the scenarios and some of the programs, so some of the highlights that we're really quite proud of and some of the things that we're hitting on. So mental health de-escalation techniques, we really hit a strong part of that curriculum with that because obviously that's one of our biggest hurdles right now is dealing with mental health in our community, de-escalation with mental health issues. So that's done through extensive learning as well as scenarios where they actually are presented with a mental health scenario where they have to use those techniques and really build on that. Bias-free policing ethics, that's about our first 2.5, 3 weeks, and then it's hit upon the next 24. So we really hit on that as well in dealing with, bias-free policing, the ethics standards, Police Act, hitting home with that. Hard skills, which we call hard skills, so your control tactics, that's your handcuffing and your taser and your pepper spray. That training starts from about the first week of our 24, and they're still doing it here in our last week, next week. So it goes and it's a progression throughout that time. Same thing as firearms. They start early in the program, work throughout that. They get emergency vehicle operations as well. So EVOC, we go up to Calgary right now to do that, and potentially a change with that coming, but that's in the works. And then Constable Weisgerber talked about subject matter expert instructors. So our entire police service trains these recruits. It's not just myself and Constable Weisgerber. So we have, which we call subject matter experts, and we have our traffic unit come in and teach them impaired driving. The guys are the right on top of the latest legislation. Mental health will have our PACT unit people come in, teach them mental health. So we really rely on our members to present the curriculum to them. Myself and Constable Weisgerber have general knowledge about lots of stuff, but when we have those experts come in who are still in the field, it actually makes the program. The other part of it too, the last part, another important part of us is a fitness program that we have in this. So our recruits are required to run 300 kilometers on their own time for those 24 weeks, as well as they have set workouts 3 days a week that they have to do on their own. And we have fitness testing from the first week they get there. They get comprehensive fitness testing on 10 or 15 different levels. So they have to do a 1.5 mile run, a sprint, and a body mass and all that stuff. So then midterm, we do another one at that time. They can see how their progression is. And then we just did the first half of their final one today. They'll do the next part tomorrow. And the improvement is amazing how they go from, shaving off 3 minutes off a 1.5 mile run from day 1 to week 24. So pretty exciting stuff that, you know, that we get to see that progression with them. So I think
That's pretty much it.
yeah, I think that's kind of an overarching thing. Obviously, can answer any questions or anything that you have with kind of the program.
Thank you for your presentation. Commissioners, questions? Councillor Hirsch?
Thanks, gentlemen, for the presentation. As a former chair of Medicine College, I'm ecstatic that you guys did that sort of thing. Having it kind of grassroots is obviously beneficial for the college, but certainly for the recruits and yourselves to be able to kind of have that at moment's notice is great. I like the fact that, you know, there's nothing against plagiarism when you get your modules from Edmonton and make it your own. I think it's great. I guess I can sense the pride in terms of you guys' efforts, which is fantastic, as you should be. Where would, I guess, what, I'm trying to think of the measuring bar versus your caliber in terms of these modules, the training that they would receive, where would that rank in other organizations that would, any type of a police service? I feel like it's pretty advanced, pretty comprehensive. I mean, I go back to, you know, you're going down memory lane a little bit in the Saskatchewan College, and you were doing it for X amount of weeks, but yeah, this is now 24 weeks, a bit more advanced, very intensive, physical, mental, all that kind of stuff. So just maybe help me understand, do you feel like it's cutting edge? Is it?
And you talk about the pride, I absolutely do. So we have feedback because we do have members from Blood Tribe Police Service who have joined
Yeah.
us, and just from their service relaying information to us, and they've gone to Depot before to train their people. They've gone to Lethbridge Community College, and us being part of that Lethbridge program as well. And this is not downplaying anything. We just were able to build something we feel is just that step higher. And I think the thing that really, for me, kind of shows how good our program is right now and how cutting edge it is that the Saskatchewan Police College or the Saskatchewan Police Commission, when they got our package and they got our curriculum, they have to approve that for their members to go. And they're like, oh no, I don't think that's, you know, we've never really done that before. And they reviewed it and they were very, very happy with it, and they will allow their members to come our direction now, which I think hadn't happened in our previous versions of this training. So we do keep up with with our subject matter experts. Every time a presentation's done, we're asking what's the next thing, what trends are coming. So if it's an impaired driving trend, we're getting the newest and the latest information in that. If there's mental health information coming, like with the new de-escalation model that we had this year, our recruits are the first to see it before it got even rolled out to our regular members, because it was, you know, we had time to do that and to get that information in there. So I think the ability to do that is, for us, that's the exciting part, is that we're able to keep it up to the best standards.
And I guess that's what resonated with me, the fact that you guys put it together, put it to Saskatchewan, and they turned around and said, oh yeah, we're good. You guys, I mean, so feather in your cap, congratulations. Sounds very exciting and well done. Appreciate it.
Councillor Hirsch, if I can add just one more thing to that. I think what sets this program apart, I think any police service can train its members related to law enforcement, but our program is tied directly to academia here in town. So I think that's critical. It gives you a different view on things. I think that's what the public should and can expect, and that extra view on it's a big deal. And when Sergeant Click mentioned the authentic scenarios with actors, it's hard for cops to portray a certain thing in a scenario with other cops, because it's just hard to take it seriously. When you get actors and they're unknown people to our cadets and our recruits, that makes it very real. And the fact that it's tied into the college, I think it gives the whole program a lot of credibility. And I think that's the important piece that it's not that we didn't have before, but just that local flavor to it and tied into academia is a real big deal for me. And then with these guys running it, I think it's amazing.
Well, that and the theater part, just reach out to them, which my son kind of went through that whole vein, and they would be more than willing. I guess they must have had pure enjoyment of recreating a domestic incident or something like, you know what I mean? I'm just imagining some of the stuff that they would have just sunk their teeth into and really enjoyed it. So, yeah, I think that was really neat too. Thank you.
If you watch these recruits when they do the scenarios, they're sweating because it might as well be the real thing out in public, because that's how it feels to them with these actors. These are people that are unknown, they haven't seen them before, and it's a big deal. So I think that's why it's called an authentic assessment, because it's the real deal they're going through as far as they're concerned.
If I could just add to that too, like, we've run both programs. We've run Lethbridge and now with Medicine Hat College. And the nice thing about this one is if there is a change or whatever, we can insert, like, we have such a good relationship with them that we can insert that change literally the day before. And it's in our PowerPoints, it's in, like, they make those changes right away, as opposed to trying to go through the whole curriculum side of it. I don't know how to describe it, but through the college side of it. And I just feel this program too is a little more, call it police oriented, as opposed to college minded, if that makes sense, but yeah.
Just wondering about the training period. 24 weeks is a pretty good stretch of time. Is it for local people only, or do you expect people from out of town to come here and get accommodation for that sort of training, or how do you scale it, or is it?
So so the other exciting thing about being in relationship with the college, we've just secured the ability to use their dorms. So I don't even think the chief knows about this yet. We just heard about it this week. So, chief, here you hear it. But there is an ability now where they're going to block potentially a 4-person dorm or even 2 4-person dorms for us. And of course, the services that are sending members will pay, you know, a fee to be in those dorms, but it'll give them the ability to be close to the college where a lot of our physical fitness stuff is, some classroom stuff is done in there, and have that ability to do it. Prior to that, so what we did was we reached out to the community for housing. So the class prior to this, we had 4 Blood Tribe members who were staying with us in the community, and we just reached out to our members or to other people within the community who had a home to rent or a place to rent. So now with this having more of a, I guess, more of a structure to it where they can say, hey, we have this ability to house your members in this facility, close to all the amenities. So yes, and we do get requests from different services to come and train, absolutely.
Yeah, because otherwise you're limiting, you know, your reach just to the local community, and that would probably be something you'd want to check to expand, for expansion.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Councillor Jimenowski?
I'm not even sure I waved my hand, but I did actually have a question. Thank you, through the chair. Thank you, Sergeant Click and Constable Weisgerber. I appreciate the presentation. And Constable Weisgerber, you kind of answered the question partway, because one of the things that kind of automatically comes with an introduction of a new curricula and training program in-house, which I applaud the chief and senior staff for working hard to implement. That's awesome. Is like, do you have the ability to be flexible with your curricula and respond nimbly so that if something isn't going where you want it, you can deviate from the path, if you will? And I think you answered that you have the ability to insert and make it function. My quick question would be, any aha moments? Any, you know what, if we were to do this again, which we will, we definitely are going here or adding more here, or is there anything that from the construct of the program that you would, or do you have the ultimate flexibility now, in which case it's a moot point?
We do, like, we can make whatever changes. I wish I'd have taken a picture of my whiteboard in my office right now, because there's about 30 things written on it that, as we've gone through this program, this particular time, and kind of rolled it out, that we want to, and I'm talking minor little things where, you know, maybe an afternoon we had a presenter in and they need another hour to, you know, to really cement that information that they provided. And that gives us a flexibility. Like, we build the schedule. We we can fluctuate in those 24 weeks to put people in different places if we need to. The curriculum runs in a specific order for the most part, but we have a lot of flexibility with that. And as we identified things, like one thing we identified, and it was a control tactics thing where we went and did room clearing, where we're going to teach the officers to go room to room to, you know, properly and safely make sure there's nobody in those rooms. But when that was presented, they were just learning some firearms manipulation stuff, and it was too early in our program to give them that room clearing, to give them the real benefit of having, you know, other training to build on that blocks, because this training, and I should have said at the start, it's a building block training. Week 1 builds onto week 2, builds onto week 3. Scenario authentic assessment 1 builds onto 2 to 3 to 4 to 13 at the end. Everything builds with the way that they, and become more complex and more dynamic as we build along there. So when we see something like that that just is out of place, we certainly have the ability, and that's where, you know, when we make notes as we go along, to say, okay, we need to change this time, let's try this. And if something absolutely didn't work, oh, hey, we have the ability to make those changes. So that's a really exciting thing about this.
Commissioner Thorson?
Yeah, I think Constable Glick, you mentioned it a little bit. Trends moving forward. What trends do you see that the recruits are going to be needing to build on skills?
Well, one of the trends that we haven't implemented in this program quite yet is body cameras. So what we were able to do through because body cameras are going to become a thing where it's just more and more of our officers are using it. So these recruits aren't taught at this time, you know, to utilize body cameras and how to do that. So what we did with the college is, in our partnership with them, is they're supplying us body cameras now for our recruit training program. So these guys can wear them, they can get used to wearing them, they can understand, you know, how valuable they are in our policing, and be able to really utilize how important that tool is to officer safety, public safety, and so forth. But if there's anything else that comes up in trends, that's where we rely on our subject matter experts as they present stuff. So we reach out to them when the program starts again and say, hey, you know what, you're up in, is there anything you need to change on anything up to date in your PowerPoints? Maybe there's new case law that's come out, maybe there's something in criminal law that needs to change, a decision coming down from the Supreme Court or something that changes the way we do our stuff. That's kind of the exciting thing with it, is we can make those changes, and we rely on our people who are in the know to give that to myself and Constable Weisgerber and be able to make those changes as we go.
Commissioner Johnson?
Besides this, are you responsible for in-service training as well, and recertification and keeping training docs, and is that all you or someone else?
That's someone else. We'll deal with once our recruits leave us is when they go to their field training officer, we will collect their field training information. So they'll go to a field training officer for 12 sets, which works about 3 months after they're done with us in the vehicle. So as they do their reporting, they'll send that to us. So if there's some sort of trend that a field training officer is seeing with a recruit, for instance, and they're like, yeah, he's just having trouble with this and this, can you guys tell us what you gave them, or can you give us some insight into this recruit so that, you know, maybe we can try this tactic or this teaching method to try to get them stronger in certain areas? That's where it'll fall right back to us, because we've been with these folks for 24 weeks. Sorry.
I asked the question poorly. No, are you responsible for regular members' recertifications, and do you keep any of those documents as well, or is that someone else?
No, sir. No, that'll be in our training section. So recruit training is a separate silo with that. So I'm sorry, no, we don't.
Anybody else? Commissioner O'Shea-Kamara?
Just a bit of a follow-up to what Miles asked. I was actually going to ask, so these are for new recruits. Is the program public, like the courses they do, or is it because it's a police thing, it's in-house? Right. Because it's done through the college, right? So is it publicized on their website, or is it?
So it is completely separate to the college program. The people that join us in our recruit training will go through our hiring process. So, or they'll go through a hiring process from another service. So they'll go through their interview stage, their physical fitness training and all that stuff that comes with it, and then they'll come to us. Yeah, so it's not something that's, are you kidding me? I'm sorry. Dog needs a pill, sorry. Yeah, so it would be strictly for us or any other police service to come that way.
then the curriculum is not public, it's not, okay. All right, thank you.
Is there a shorter form of the training for people that are patching over for other services, or is that something that I haven't thought of yet?
No, this is again for new recruits, so for someone that's coming from another service, for the most part, we haven't really a formalized program for that. What they'll do is they'll come and they'll go with a field training officer again. That field training officer will get them up to speed with our report writing, with our systems, with our policy and so forth. So they'll go with a field training officer and they'll do all that for us.
Chief, anything to add?
I just want to thank Jeff and Kevin for their commitment to making sure our newest members are ready to serve our community. It's a big deal, and if it wasn't for their work, I don't think the partnership with the college would have been so smooth, and the college has been absolutely outstanding, and with these guys, like, it's been unbelievable, like, a great thing. As hard as the first year can be, I'd say it's gone about as good as it can go, so thank you for your commitment to that. Appreciate it.
On behalf of the commission, thank you for your presentation. To the Office of the Chief and to the two of you, we commend you. I think one of the things that I love most about our community is the fact that we're innovative and creative and we make these things work, and it's something to be very proud of that we have this within our service. Many small services don't have this opportunity, so to bring those recruits on under your leadership and your culture right from day one is an incredible opportunity, and please extend the commission's gratitude to the college as well. Having them part of this first year is an exceptional step forward, and we look forward to the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Standing items, Chief Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll just give a brief budget update. Currently projecting a positive variance at year end, which I mentioned in the closed meeting, and that's it for the police budget update.
Thank you, Chief Murphy. Commissioner Johnson, APG report. I know you have a written submission that'll be part of the minute package. Do you have anything to add?
Yes, first of all, for the written portion, thank you very much to Commissioner Chukaneva for taking care of that, as I wasn't able to be in Westlock, and she was kind enough to put that report in for me. There was an AAPG meeting on June 9th. Part of the discussion was sort of a rehash of that conference. Some of the people were not really happy with the venue or the accommodations. The next AAPG conferences will be next year in Tabor. There was a report on the training manuals for commission members. It seems like most of the focus for that is really geared for police committees. They're trying very hard to stand up the situation for the police committees for the RCMP. There was some discussion on the PCR. I would take it that the members involved in that would probably know much more about that than I would. And there was some discussion as to the Tabor meeting on that's coming up on 24 June, which is a meeting between us, basically all the commissions and the police committees in Southern Alberta that Tabor has taken upon themselves to host. This will be the second meeting like this. A couple of years ago, Lethbridge put one on, and Tabor has taken that. And that is my report.
Thank you. Any questions for Commissioner Johnson? Seeing none, we will move on to the Office of the Chief report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll turn it over to Inspector Graham for the operational services report.
Thank you, Chief. Good evening, Commission members. I'm going to have you turn your attention to page 24 and 25 of your package. And I'll speak on an event that occurred on May 11th at about 10 a.m. in the morning. Medicine Hat Police Service patrol member observed a vehicle on College Drive and 13th Avenue. This member, knowing that the driver was had a Canada-wide driving prohibition, tried to stop the vehicle at this time. The driver fled at a high rate of speed. Due to the public safety concerns that this posed, the member did not pursue this vehicle at that time. Shortly thereafter, the members attended to this individual's residence and observed the suspect inside the residence. Additional patrol members attended to the scene, including a canine unit and our drone team. As they were coming to the scene, the suspect fled on a bike, and the drone was utilized in this instance. And as a result of the use of the drone in connection with the canine team, a 26-year-old male was safely apprehended and taken into custody without injury and was charged with a number of criminal code offenses. I bring this incident up as it's another great example of the value of our drone program here in the city. It clearly optimizes public safety and it mitigates a lot of risk, not just to our members, but to the public. So that was a great incident, which again highlighted our drone program. I'll have you also now turn to page 27 of your package. I'm going to speak to an event that occurred with our downtown patrol unit on May 23rd. Members were attended to the 400 block of 3rd Street Southeast for a male that was swearing. Members know this individual, deal with him quite regularly, a 53-year-old male. And during the course of their interaction with this male, he tried to assault the officers. He was successfully apprehended without any injury to either the male himself or the officers. He was charged criminally with mischief and assaulting a police officer and was held for a hearing, and he is held in custody. I bring this incident up again because it's another good example of the work and the efforts that our downtown patrol unit are doing to address criminal behaviors that are happening in our downtown core. And in this case, this individual is still in custody, and because of that, he frees up a lot of police resources. He's, how would I put it, uses a lot of our resources in dealing with this individual time and time again. So I bring it up because of the great work our members did to deal with his issues and also free up some of our policing resources while he's dealing with it with the courts. I'll be glad to take any of your questions.
Any questions? Commissioner Thorson?
Yeah, thank you, Inspector, for your thoughts. I'm just curious in terms of high-speed pursuits, the thresholds, procedure process in terms of calling off those pursuits. What's the process that's involved in that? Is that the officer's choice, or is there someone higher that makes that decision, or what's the process for that?
Yeah, we typically don't engage in any pursuits at all. We don't, just for public safety. We have a lot of resources available to us, like I just mentioned, the drone and other ways we can do it. So it's a practice that we don't do.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Inspector Graham? Thank you, Inspector Graham. Chief?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll turn it over to Inspector West with Investigation and Support Services, please.
Thanks, Chief. I'll just, if you turn to page 31, I'd just like to focus on training this month again. One of the, at the top from the training unit there, one officer attended the Canadian Institute for Public Safety Research and Treatment Conference in Regina, Saskatchewan. So this speaks to some of the in-house training that we do with regard to wellness for our members. So one of the constables who sort of looks after some of our peer support systems and so forth went on that conference, and again, that's focused towards inward towards our members. Another course, you know, sort of the same genre, but different audience. One officer attended the Traumatic Event System course in Medicine Hat College. So again, it sort of highlights our partnership with the Medicine Hat College. So when we have appropriate courses, we certainly leverage those and send our members. The course helps attendees understand the human systems in response to trauma. So this speaks to the trauma-informed practices that our Family Crimes Unit is using when they're interviewing, when they're dealing with families and so forth. And again, it just gives an example of the depth that some of our specialty units have when it comes to dealing with those, especially those types of investigations. And just a little bit more about the recruit training. So in May, recruits spent a day in the downtown patrol unit where they had the opportunity to go down to the drug treatment court. So I know we've spoken about that program before. So, and this really speaks to, you know, we talked a little bit about, this is really a custom, you know, where does it fit in nationally with other programs? Well, it's a custom fit for Medicine Hat, and you know, field trips like this really speak to that. So they've also spent some time getting to know some of the locals in the downtown area. So they've had that exposure already, which is excellent, I think. And just with regard to the authentic scenarios, so they did just finish up their last scenarios, as Sergeant Click mentioned. And just, you know, again, speaking to the partnership with the college and the actors, we've had a chance, I think all of us from the Office of the Chief have had a chance to observe some of those scenarios, and they're far better than when we have other police officers in those roles acting. So it's just been a really good and developing and growing experience for the officers. That's all I have.
Any questions from Inspector West? Seeing none, Chief Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have nothing to add to the Office of the Chief Reporter, to the report in general. Happy to answer any questions, but I'll offer any time in case Deputy Chief Saney would like to offer anything.
I don't have anything else to add. Thank you.
Thanks, Deputy. But I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Chief Murphy? Seeing none, we'll move on to new business. Last meeting, we are fortunate to have 4 members attending CAPG this year. Through that process, our admin assistant, Melanie Wall, identified that we're not currently members of CAPG, and there is some benefits and savings to that, although based on the number of people that attended this year, it would not have saved us enough money to overcome that. However, it was raised to have a discussion about CAPG membership in the future. Comments, questions, there were some briefing material in your package that you got on Friday.
Just happy to see we've got a celebrity in our midst, so.
Commissioner Thorson?
Yeah, for me, to me, anytime you have a chance to access information, training, ideas that helps us do our job here, which helps them do their job over there, it's probably a benefit to us. I know that in the past, they've had lots of really good webinars that I've accessed throughout the years. I don't see a whole lot of downside to it.
Thank you, Commissioner Thorson. Any other comments or questions? Councillor Dubanowski.
Just quickly through the chair, yeah, I would echo that. I know in my earlier years around the table, we often were members. You know, being a member for the sake of trying to create savings is one value add, but the other part is, and touches on even the presentation, you know, what are the current factors? What are the cutting edge things? In essence, creating membership keeps us at that forefront. So there would be some value there as well. But I mean, certainly there has to be a means to take that information and bring it back in order for there to be a meaningful exchange for the actual membership. So I'm not insistent that we do it, but I certainly see value in it.
Thank you, Councillor Dubanowski. Anyone else? Vice Chair Keane?
Yeah, I think I would just kind of echo some of those comments that, you know, it's one of the ways that I think we can become better commissioners is through networking and obviously and through training, and there are some opportunities available there. And, you know, I think it'd be worth maybe looking at and supporting the the CAPG through membership. And I think we would need to evaluate, you know, are we accessing the, you know, those opportunities, and to be able to, as Councillor Dumanowski said, you know, are we going to actually access it and add value to what we do?
Thank you, Vice Chair Keen. Anyone else? How would the commission like to proceed? So we have both accountabilities that have been suggested. We could motion to pursue the membership immediately. We could defer it to budget allocation for 2026. Is anybody prepared to make a motion or any direction on that? Commissioner Thorson?
Yeah, I'd be prepared to make a motion that we explore membership commencing 2026.
Seconder? Second. Vice Chair Keen? Any further discussion? Okay, the motion is to evaluate it as part of our budget process for 2026. Anybody abstained? Opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you. One note from the chair for the commission's awareness. After review with the regulations and legislation and consultation with council, we have asked our administrative assistant Melanie Wall to become our FOIP coordinator, has a better opportunity to stay on top of those things. And so Melanie has accepted that, and so effective immediately, I've asked her to take on that role and keep us on track on any FOIP requests the commission, but I wanted the commission to be aware of that, so. We have no one in the gallery, so we'll forego community consultation. And we are breaking for the summer, so our next open meeting will be on Wednesday, September 17th, 2025 in council chambers. Thank you very much, everyone that was online, and enjoy your summer holidays. Thank you.